We like to do our best to introduce you to Minnesotans from all corners of the state.
And that person that we're introducing you to today is Amy Goodwin. Amy is from Alexandria. She's here to share a little bit more with us about her journey with Lyme disease and how her diagnosis led her to becoming a life coach. Amy, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Amy Goodwin. I live up by Alexandria. As you said, I own New Hope Wellness, and I'm here today to talk about Lyme and talk about my new book that's actually being released today. So I'm really excited to be here.
Tell us.
Well, go ahead.
I would say, tell us about your Lyme disease. I mean, you don't know when you contracted it. You kind of have a suspicion, but kind of give us your journey with that.
Yeah, we know when I contracted it. I didn't find my tick, which, as we were just discussing off camera, only 50% of people do see and find their tick and get that classic Lyme reaction of, oh, I have a bullseye rash and the fever and flu-like symptoms. That's kind of not the status quo for everybody, and that's why a lot of people like me kind of wander around in the medical world looking for help, looking for a diagnosis because they didn't, recognize the initial assault.
How did you know something was wrong?
Well, I was a very healthy young woman. I was a young mom. I had 4 young children, and I was, going to the gym 4 days a week, getting back in shape after having kids and all of that. And one night at the gym, I had a tiny little tremor that started in my knee. And from that point, probably 3 to 4 months after that, I was so sick and so overcome with pain and exhaustion that I had to cancel my gym membership. So it was a pretty dramatic shift for me.
And that was how many years ago?
2012 was the end of my treatment. It was 5 years before that.
Oh my gosh. So how are you doing today?
Well, I have been Lyme-free since my treatment, so.
What's the treatment?
So the treatment is rigorous. I will say that. It's not an easy, oh, I have strep throat, I'm going to go to the doctor and get an antibiotic and feel better, right? And at New Hope Wellness, where in my wellness center, that is one of the things that we really do. We really specialize in treating Lyme disease. And the average Lyme treatment for somebody like me who was looking for help for 5 years and didn't find help for 5 years, and that Lyme was in me for a while, really establishing its roots, is 18 months to 2 years. That's an average treatment. And some people who have been dealing with it longer than that treat Lyme for many years.
So the sooner you find the tick and feel like it's Lyme, the better your treatment is? I didn't know this.
Yes, one of the things we really focus on at New Hope is awareness, because that is where we really beat Lyme, is when you catch it really early in those acute stages. So if you're out camping with your family, you find a tick, you have any kind of symptoms, if you get a rash, if it's red, anything like that, you need to get to the correct doctor who knows how to give you the correct antibiotic treatments. And if you do that with the proper amount of time for at least 4 weeks and sometimes longer, Lyme's very easy to eradicate in those early stages.
Does the work at the clinic go beyond Lyme disease?
Yeah, because we treat Lyme, we do a lot of other things very well, right? We do pain management really well, we do mental health really well, we do gut really well, and that's where I fall into the coaching aspect, right? With my Lyme journey, I really got sucked into the Lyme world. People all around heard about my story, wanted to know how to get help, how to be better. I ended up working with people all over the state of Minnesota, and even not in the state of Minnesota. I talked to somebody from Australia at that point in my journey, and really got into supporting patients. And that's where the roots of my life coaching and emotional resilience really started. And so at the clinic, that's what I do there. I work, I run my own practice as a life coach and emotional resilience trainer, and my roots of that really came from Lyme.
And from your Lyme journey, you have now taken that to sort of put together what's in your new book. As the person you've become.
Yeah, for sure. The part of who I am today is because of that, right? As I said before, Lyme is a rigorous treatment, but Lyme is a very difficult disease. And I was very sick for 5 years, not knowing what was wrong with me, not knowing if I was going to live to raise my children, right? And along with Lyme, we lost a daughter. I've overcome a lot of hard things in our lives, and I think because of those experiences and because of my education, that's what makes me really powerful at what I do. Emotional resilience is what we're all looking for, right? Life is stressful, life is hard. I recently heard a statistic that 70% of Americans are walking around in fight or flight. Fight or flight is for tiger chasing me and I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So 70% of us now are walking around in fight or flight. That means 70% of us are walking around in chronic stress and chronic anxiety, high blood pressure, right? All the things that happen in fight or flight. And we're not meant to live that way, right? What's the antidote to that? Well, the powerful antidote to that is emotional resilience. And that's what the Mountains We Climb teaches. That's what I do in my office every day.
What are the implications of living with that fight or flight day in and day out, like you said? I mean, you mentioned, you know, how we're feeling about it, but what does that do to your body?
Oh, well, what does it do to your body and what does it do to your mind, right? Well, let's talk about that. What happens when the tiger's chasing you, right? What happens? Well, what happens is your heart starts to beat really fast, your blood pressure goes up, you get really narrow vision, your adrenaline shoots, your cortisol shoots, all the hormones that you need to survive, right? Shoot. And so what happens then? Well, then your body's like, okay, emergency, let's go, we're gonna survive, we're gonna die. But really, no, just a stressful day, right? But your nervous system doesn't know that. And science tells us that your nervous system doesn't know the difference. And so now we're living with 400 million Americans walking around with anxiety disorders, right? And we're dealing with people with depression and people living with such disconnect, right? Because we're constantly trying to soothe, because we're dying, right? That's what our body's telling us. We are not made to live that way. And as a society, we're seeing some of the repercussions of that, right? So we need to teach emotional resilience. This is a huge need and a big movement, I think, that is being put out in the mental health world. In fact, my mentor is really pushing, trying to get just these skills that a lot of them I talk about in the Mountains We Climb into schools. And I have taught in a lot of schools as well and have many of teenagers in my practice. These tools are just basic emotional resilience, like how do we calm that down in our body? Yeah. It sounds very silly to say this, but one of the first things I do is teach people how to just breathe.
Yeah.
Like that's the first signal to the nervous system that, hey, we're not gonna die.
Yeah.
No tiger, just a stressful day, right? But it's powerful, and most people don't know how to stop and do it.
Well, so much. Thank you for coming by and for sharing your books and your story. And thanks for driving down from Alexandria.
Well, thank you guys.
I'm glad you got good weather for that trip.
Yes, beautiful day.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. We're going to post a link to Amy's book, including her newest one that is now on pre-sale right on our website at minnesotalive.com.